Hey guys, welcome back to the Halo Gaming channel. I hope you're all keeping well on this lovely sunny day. This is the first video in my as of yet untitled sci-fi RPG series. Again, if you have any suggestions for a name for it, leave it in the comments below. Because right now it's just sci-fi RPG. Now I know what you're thinking. This does not look very much like a sci-fi RPG, but the first video we're going to do is a short video of me attempting to use Mudbox for the very first time to make a never done any kind of... That was strange. My computer just froze and I don't know if the recording picked that up. If it did, never done any kind of 3D sculpting before. So obviously I've used 3ds Max for modeling and I've used Maya for modeling, but I've never used Mudbox for sculpting. So this is a completely new experience for me. I watched a couple of YouTube tutorials on just the different brushes. Mudbox is not something you can really... It's not something you really learn. Or it's not something you really be taught. It's something that you have to practice and learn yourself, I find. Because you can be shown where all the tools are, and you can be shown how to move around, and you can be shown where everything is, but the actual art of sculpting it's difficult. It's different. It's not something I've... See, I would think that sculpting is very artistic in the same way that drawing would be, and I'm a terrible artist. I'm a terrible drawer. I can 3D model based on concept sketches that people give me, or reference images that I'm kind of going off of and making something similar. But like to create something, drawing from scratch, I feel like sculpting is in that same vein. So it's kind of daunting for me, but I do want to get into it. I actually found that I found that I quite enjoyed it, and I do enjoy it. So we'll just kind of have to see how it goes. So I've turned on mirroring so that I only have to work on one side of the sculptor. Also, I should say that this is a human body template that comes with Mudbox. This is not something that I've done. So when you start up Mudbox, it says, do you want to use a cube, a sphere, a cow? There's a couple of things in there that you can use. And there's a human body. So I took a human body, and now I'm just going to try and mold it into an alien shape. I did look up some alien reference images, and I had an idea for something that I kind of wanted. My idea for this alien is that it's an amphibious species that lives on a mostly oceanic planet. So they live underwater, and whatever land masses they have, they would have built out onto that, but they can obviously they can breathe underwater, and they can live on land as well. So amphibious, I believe, is the term. So I wanted kind of a fishy-ish, amphibious-y look. And I saw an image online that kind of had a look that I was going for. He had a big kind of long head with indent, and it looked really cool. So I was like, well, you know what? I'll give that a shot. As you can see, it's not going very well. I'm using the bulge brush at the minute, which seems to just create little bulges. I'm still not entirely sure which the best brushes to use are. There is more sculpting involved in this. I sculpt an alien enemy, and then eventually, I don't know if I've recorded that, and then I eventually do an enemy 2.0, because the first enemy, I couldn't texture it, and I couldn't get armor to work on it, and it fell apart, and I spent about 3 days trying to fix it. I actually got one of my teachers to look at it, my course coordinator. I got a friend of mine to look at it. There were just so many problems with it due to bad geometry and bad modeling and sculpting and stuff, that it just became more trouble than it was worth. So after 3 days of trying to fix it, I went on and decided to model or sculpt a second one. And within a day, I had a sculpted, rigged, textured, much better looking enemy. So there is a recording of enemy 2.0 being sculpted and made and stuff. So this will be a short video just to ease you in, because I'm recording this on the same day that I recorded the last Alo's animator assembly attempt video. And that is the first video where I asked you for suggestions for this series name. So I'm going to give you some time to come up with names and comment below and give me some ideas for names for what to call this series. So to be titled sci-fi RPG. But I do want to get into it. So we're starting off with, and obviously I've never done sculpting myself, and there's no sculpting videos on my channel yet, so this is another aspect of game dev that I will be learning, and I am learning. And it's another area that you can go into, so I think it's important to show that before we go into the level design and all the other cool stuff that's going to come up within this series. So I am very excited for this one, because this is my big project, my big one. And I quite like the idea, and I have a lot more ideas of stuff that I want to get into it, so exciting stuff. So we're trying to make a cone head, basically. And as you can see, it's not going well. Now, this mesh, I think I'm on two things. First of all, if you're wondering, because to me it looks a little weird, right? This looks quite big, so the aspect ratio, or I don't know what it is, but it just looks a little kind of weird to me. The reason for that is that this is actually a recording of my tablet. So my digital design tablet. So I am actually using a digital design tablet for that. I have a XP Pen Artist 13.3 digital design tablet, which is super cool. And makes this kind of stuff much easier. I could not do this with a mouse. I just, as hard as it is for me with the actual pen, it's almost impossible with a mouse. For me personally, I just, you just don't have the control with a mouse. So that's one thing. If it looks a little bit weird, it's because it is recording off of my tablet, which would have a different resolution to my monitor. Second thing is this little grid. I know that in Mudbox, there are different divisions. So you can subdivide this to get a higher resolution sculpt. I think, and it makes it easier. I was trying to get like details in at some stage, or I will be trying to get details in. And I'm like, it's really kind of blocky and it looks really shit. And I said it to my 3D modeling and sculpting teacher, and he was like, "Yeah, no, just like hit Shift and D, I think it is, to up the subdivisions, and then you'll get like a higher resolution, better quality, and kind of stuff." And I was just, you go up to about a subdivision level of 6, which is it might be 500,000 or 5 million polygons then, which is quite a lot. But then you can get like the really fine details. So the videos I watch online always say, like, when you're starting out, do it on the lowest subdivision level and just do the broad strokes. Just get the basic shape. Now I'm struggling to get the basic shape for the head, and it's all, you can see that the geometry is all messed up, and this is not going to look good. I feel like I should be using not the bulge brush. I should be using the grab brush, I think it's called. And that way it's like pinching a bit of it and then pulling it out, and pinch and pull it out, and pinch, pull it out. And it's very important when you're sculpting to constantly rotate, because you're trying to sculpt a 3D object on a 2D screen. So you may think that you're dragging something vertically, but you might be dragging kind of diagonally over, so you need to just make sure and keep tweaking it. It's an interesting challenge to do this. So that's the grab brush. So I'm using the grab brush there to grab little bits and start pulling them up and out. You can see the geometry is just going all over the place. And I don't want a pointy head. I want a cone head. That just looks like he's wearing a dunce hat, which is what I should be wearing. That's my hat, give it back. I know that this is the only video I have of me working on the player sculpt. And it's a short video. It's only half an hour long, and I might scrub through it if it's just me doing the same thing over and over again. I got so pissed off that I couldn't get it to work. I got so annoyed with Mudbox, and that's understandable, right? Okay, it was my first time ever using it, and I didn't know what I was doing, and I couldn't get it to work, and I couldn't get it to look the way that I wanted. And after struggling with it for half an hour, I just went, fuck this. This is bullshit. And then I just closed the program and either left the computer or, went into Unity and did something that I actually knew how to do, that I could feel good about myself again, because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm such an idiot. This is shit. I did eventually go back to it, and I finished modeling it, and I was relatively happy with how it turned out. It did completely by accident, and you will, because you'll see the player character in the upcoming videos when we get into the level and stuff. Completely by accident. I swear this was by accident. The back of his head, when I was sculpting it and trying to add in little details, it ended up looking like there was a dick on the back of his head. And everyone noticed. Anyone who's seen it has said, that's a dick on his head. He's like, and I was like, I didn't do that on purpose. And it wouldn't be a huge issue, except it's a third-person game. So the camera is constantly behind him. So you're just constantly looking at the back of this massive dickhead. And I was going to leave it in. But I am going to change the player character and sculpt a new one. Just because I kind of want to. When I sculpted it, I brought it straight into Unity from Mudbox, which was a bad idea because it was, I think it's 8 million polygons. So it's really tanking my performance. And as the level gets bigger and more stuff gets added into it, 8 million polygons, I just can't afford to have that kind of thing in there. Also, I figured out that from doing the first enemy that failed, and because I tried to put armor on him, I found it was easier to sculpt in the armor and then texture it in Substance Painter. And you get it's an easier way than having to model armor on it. So I'm going to have to do that for the player. And I'm going to try and, again, do something that I've never done before, because it's me. I might try and give him, if I'm modeling, not necessarily armor, but clothes, I might try and model an open jacket and then take that in Maya, detach it, and add a cloth modifier to it to make it look like it's cloth. Because I've not really used cloth modifiers and we've not learned that yet, this would be another just way of me trying something out that I'd like to learn. And I'm using a smooth brush to try and fix all this shitty geometry. So that's, Mudbox is good for that. You can just smooth things down and get them looking a little bit better. Yeah. So I have to get like 8 million polygons. I can't have that in my game. So I'm going to have to, at some stage, redo it. And I will record that. I will record that, yep. And we'll get that done. And it may not have a dickhead anymore when I redo it, which would be kind of sad. So is this me just smoothing things out, trying to get it to look all right? Still on either subdivision level 1 or 2, so the low subdivision levels. And then, as you can see, I put in some eyebrows. I think you'll see why I end up getting pissed off towards the end of this video. It's still not a cone. It's not quite, and it's all, the geometry's cutting out and cutting off, and it's just. I mean, I do get it looking better eventually, and I kind of wish I had that video. I think after this, recording this one, and then realizing just how bad I was at Mudbox, and what an annoying fucking piece of shit it was to try and learn. And it's not really, like I said, it's just practice. I'd never been shown Mudbox, so naturally it was going to be difficult for my first ever attempt. But I think I just decided not to record any more videos of Mudbox, because this one was not a pleasant experience for me. And I didn't know if I'd be able to finish the player model, how it would look, and I just, didn't bother recording any of it because I got scared and frustrated and was like, yeah, I'll record the stuff that makes me look better. And that'll tell you how bad this is, because if you've been keeping up to date with the channel and watching previous videos, there's a lot of stuff in those that don't make me look good. So if I'm leaving this out because to make me look better, then that just shows you how fucking bad this was. But the head's starting to kind of become more conical. There's an accidental little divot in there that I kind of like. That's kind of cool. You got this kind of ridge coming down. I don't mind that. That's, it doesn't look the worst. And also, I think that's why I didn't record doing the enemies. Oh, no, I did the enemies in college, so I didn't have the chance to record them. Because we did eventually get some lessons in Mudbox. I say some, I think 1 or 2. Very, very basic stuff. But, like I said, with Mudbox, it's more about practicing than actually learning. Because once you've learned all the tools, that's really all you can learn from Mudbox. This brush does this. You can put some stamps in, some stencils. You can do some lighting stuff. And there's stuff with Mudbox that we didn't cover in college that I know you can do. I didn't realize that you could retopologize your models in Mudbox. We were told to bring them into Maya and retopologize them there. For the Enemy 2.0, I think I retopologized it in Mudbox. So I was able to export the lowest subdivision and the highest subdivision, but it was the lowest subdivision is what's in the game, so that it has the least amount of polys. And I'm using the highest subdivision to bring it into Substance Painter and bake normal maps, so that it ends up the low subdivision one looks like the high poly one. So you get the high poly look without having, millions and millions of polys slowing down your game. So that's what I need to do for the player at some stage soon, because, everything else is not as important as getting the player finished and into the game and replacing the current 8 million poly player. So hopefully that will help with some performance issues and frames and stuff, because it's a big project and it's kind of tough to have everything in it. And we've not really learned anything yet about optimizing your game, so I'm trying to figure that out myself. Okay, so we're gonna zoom in and I want to do something with his nose. Now, because I want this kind of to be a fishy type amphibious alien, I don't want him to have a nose. I know fish have noses, but I want him to be kind of flat-faced. And that the image I saw online that I was kind of roughly basing this off of did have a kind of a flat, conical-headed look to it. So yeah, that's what I'm going to try and do. I'm going to try and flatten his nose. I have a flattened brush. It's not doing anything. That's what annoys me about it. I get what the brushes do some of the time. Sometimes they don't do what I expect them to do, and again, it's probably because I don't know what I'm doing in Mudbox. But I would expect the flatten brush would flatten. Maybe I should put the strength up. Just sculpting into the nose to try and sculpt it away. Ends up looking a little bit like Voldemort at some point. But I'm just trying to crush down the nose to be kind of flat so that he doesn't really, he has a nose. You can tell that there's nostrils or a nose there, but it's not like a nose. It just looks like I'm putting a crater into his face. Like I said, this is not the best work I've ever done. And even the Enemy 2.0, that I think was a lot better than anything else I've done, there's parts of it that are not great. The eyes and the mouth specifically are particularly difficult to do, and I made a kind of a mess of them. But it's a prototype. I'm still learning Mudbox. I'm still learning everything. And it's not noticeable. So it's fine that they're there. Yeah, sure, I know they're there and I'm not happy about it, but I can fix it at a later stage. And I will. Because it is annoying me that I know it's not good. It's not perfect and it needs to be perfect. Everything needs to be perfect. Well, it's getting there. So the nose is getting flatter. It's kind of, you can get what I'm going for. So then I want to put in a mouth. Oh, don't know what that is. I just want to put in a mouth. But I kind of want it to be a big mouth. The strength is too high on the brush. That is an issue. And it is an issue that I don't fix. Possibly because it doesn't occur to me at this stage. And as you can see there, I was dragging it along, but nothing was really seemed to be happening here. It seemed to be jumping over. So you're getting like every other bit of it. And that is because it's on the lowest subdivision. So if I go up the subdivision levels, this will smooth out. But this was annoying me because I didn't know that at the time, and I couldn't figure out why nothing was working, and it was jumping over. And I was just getting this kind of bumpy effect rather than a smooth line that I wanted. I'm going to just... See, I keep undoing stuff because I don't like it. It's not working. I just want just a little, and get in there at where it meets in the middle. So, turn the side. This is very annoying. Could just leave it like that, where he has like just two little indents instead of a mouth. What am I doing? I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm trying to do something, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's me messing with the pen and the hotkeys on the tablet, trying to turn the size of the brush down to 0. That's not good. I mean, you could just do it here. Don't be lazy. There you go. Kids. Oh, to be 31 again. So the size is quite small. I'm still not changing the strength, and the strength is what's causing the issues, really. Still, you can see it's not quite, yeah, like you can see though, it's just, yeah. I end up with this gaping gash across his face. So that's not quite what I wanted. But I'm trying to get the shape at least, and you can see it's just kind of a hole here. It's not doing this bit for some reason. So I should put the subdivision levels up. And I will when I learn that. I didn't know it at this stage, okay? I have to ask my teacher. There's a little bump in his nose. Turn the strength down. At least I figured that bit out. Still not going to quite work the way I want it to. I don't know what that is that keeps popping up. I think that's me hitting something on the pen. It's not. I mean, for like when I was doing this before I talked to my teacher, I was actually worried that it was a problem with the tablet. And I was so happy when I got the tablet that I didn't want there to be a problem because I knew I needed it for stuff like this. And I was like, no, don't let it be a problem with the tablet where it's not like the sensitivity is not, high enough for, I don't know. I didn't know what the problem could be, but I just was like, don't let it be a problem with the tablet. And it's not, thankfully. It was just, well, there you go. It was just a problem with the subdivisions levels that I was on. And now I know that, so that's fine. That's cool. Just desperately trying to get a mouth. I just want a mouth. Is that too much to ask for? Just put a mouth in there. No? You know what? No, nothing seems to want to work. Fucking piece of shit. Oh. I'm just trying to see, like, what's going on? Like, I'm just getting really aggravated that nothing seems to be working the way I want. Oh, now it's getting a little bit, no. It's not what I want. I can feel the annoyance from past me doing this. I can just feel it emanating from the screen, just going, fucking stupid Mudbox. There, that's it. That's his fucking mouth. Great. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. Thank you. Stupid. Yeah. Fuck it'll do. It does look more like a snake than anything else right now. So it even looks like he's got fangs. Yeah. So this is what I got. I do more work on it. I do get it better, and then I kind of stencil over it to make the body look like it's got like texture to it. And just kind of dig in a hole for the eyes, and I clean up the mouth a little bit, and I think I just take off the ears, and I make the head a little bit better, and do some little tweaks. But you'll get to see it soon. I don't know exactly when I bring it into the project. We got to start with the level building stuff and the level design stuff first. I don't know what I've recorded and in what order. I know that the further into it we get, the more recordings I will have, because towards the start I was kind of going back and forth between working from college and working from home. Then the project got too big for me to actually kind of keep bringing it in. So I just started doing more and more work from home. So there will be more and more recordings of the stuff that I worked on for this. So the first few might be a little bit disjointed, but I'll try to explain what I've done in the meantime and what work has gone on, and you'll get to see at least like the little jumps to from where we were to where we are in any given video. So I'm going to stop this here because I've stopped. So a little short video, just a little teaser intro to what's going to be coming up in the as yet untitled sci-fi RPG series. Again, if you have any comments, any suggestions for a name, comment them below, because I can't think of anything right now. And I've been thinking about this for a while, so I really can't think of anything at all. Yes, and if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to keep up to date with this, with the channel, hit the notification icon thingy, the bell, so that you don't miss out on any videos coming up, because this series is going to be pretty cool, I think, and I think a lot of people will like it. I think it'll be enjoyable, so I'd like you to come along for the ride. So subscribe so you don't miss out, and share with anybody you think might be interested. Just the more people we can get involved, the bigger community we can build. So I think, and that's kind of what I want to do, is just build a community where we can help each other out and have some fun together. I think that's important. So yeah, that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.